How you doing, everybody? Jonathan here, and in this video I'm going to discuss a topic that I've gotten a number of questions on recently, and that is the real reason why you're unable to secure your first personal training job in a big box gym. And the number one reason that I've gotten was lack of experience, but I've seen a number of things from my perspective. I've gone to an Equinox personal training interview just to see what it's like from your perspective. I've consulted with hiring managers as they decide on which trainer they wanted to hire. I've hired trainers myself, and I've been in multiple situations where I'm just looking to join a gym and then the general manager is trying to hire me. I'm trying to tell them I don't want to work for their gym. They're offering me more money. They're saying they'll make the job easier and easier, and I don't want the job. So there's got to be some form of communication that you're engaging in that's working against you, because you have to understand that gyms view personal trainers as low-cost profit centers. So it's their benefit to have as many of these in their facility as possible. So you may be approaching your interview process a little bit in the wrong way, so I'm going to help you to fix that up. But before I do, if you've not yet, make sure to click on that link up there and subscribe to my newsletter, as I send out short articles every Monday on how to see success in the fitness industry. If you just happen to stumble upon this video, subscribe to this channel by clicking on the YouTube icon below, as I make videos every Wednesday based on questions that I get the most. And as always, if you've already subscribed to both my newsletter and to the YouTube channel, thank you very much for your support. And if you find the information in this video helpful, please click on the like button below the video player, because every like that I get helps this channel. All right, so based on my experiences, I'm going to go over a couple of things that you want to tighten up a bit, and it should make it a lot easier for you to secure your first personal training job. Now, the number one reason why you may not be getting hired to a personal training job in a big box gym is that you are uncertified, because you have to understand that certifications serve as safeguards against liability for the gym. So they don't have to worry as much about getting sued for your negligence, because by virtue of the fact that you have your certification, you're essentially agreeing to abide by the laws and the tactics and the practices explained by the certifying authorities manual, so it covers the gym's behind. All right, so you definitely want to make sure that you have a certification, a nationally accredited one. So some of the most popular certifications to have are going to be ACSM, NSCA, ACE, and NASM. Now, specifically, if you're looking to study for the NASM personal training exam, I have a study course which has specifically helped trainers to see success with the NASM exam. And if you want to see a little bit more success, or you need help with the training habits, I definitely recommend that you click on that image right there for my personal training certification study course. Now, going beyond that, you have to understand that when you're interviewing with the general manager or with the personal training director, they're essentially assessing the vibe you give off. They're assessing everything about you, your look and your energy, and they're taking the perspective of the client, asking, would I train with this person? So you may be conveying the wrong kind of image. All right, so quick story number one, I have a friend who worked as the head trainer at a gym in New Jersey, and he was looking between two trainers. One had a little bit of experience, one had no experience, one looked okay, one really looked the part. And I can say that one of the reasons why I'm accosted constantly by the general managers when I look to just join a gym is because I very much look the part of the personal trainer. So the first thing I would have to ask is, do you look the part of a personal trainer? Even if you don't have experience, the first evidence of your understanding and knowledge of fitness is going to be the product that you put out in the interview, and that is you, yourself, your body. So if you're not quite in the shape that you need to be in, and you know this, dedicate some time to making sure that you make fitness your first priority, because these gyms want examples. They want people that make fitness their first priority, because those are the types of people that clients want to train with. Now, moreover, as it extends into experience, you may have just gotten your certification and have not trained anybody else for money, but that doesn't mean that you have no experience as a trainer. Like I said before, your body itself is evidence of your understanding of fitness, but also, what about your friends? What about your family? These are people that you can be training to hone your craft, all right? And oftentimes they'll ask for references. You can give them your friends and family, you just don't need to necessarily have your friends and family identify your relationship, all right? So if you're not willing to train somebody for free that you know and like, how much more difficult do you think it will be to train people that you don't like? Because that will happen in personal training. So if you're not honing your skills and you're not creating the experience for yourself by training your friends and your family and yourself, then you're not putting the necessary work up front in order for a hiring manager to feel confident about you. All right. The next thing that you want to brushing up a little bit is your availability. So everybody wants the peak hours. Everybody thinks they can come in Monday through Thursday and work either from, let's say, 8 to 12 cushy hours or 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then they'll be able to work at the gym. But you have to understand, it's not hard to populate the gym with those hours, especially if there isn't a lot of extra clientele looking for training at those hours. Gyms typically want to fill in the off hours, the weekends and the early mornings. And when you understand that early morning training is definitely a part of the industry, especially if you're new, when you understand that that availability is required, it's going to work to your benefit because it shows that you understand the fitness industry. So let's take an example of when I was interviewing over at Equinox. One of the main things that the general manager said is that she wanted personal training at Equinox to be my #1 priority, and everything else should come second. Now, obviously, I wasn't really looking to work there, but it speaks volume to exactly what these hiring managers are looking for. They want to make sure that they can get the most out of you, and if you're only available when it's convenient for you, that's not attractive for a hiring manager. Now, the next thing that they're going to look at is going to be your energy and your vibe. Because as I said earlier, they want to think about what the client is going to see. Would they train with that client, or would they train with you as a trainer? So one thing that you may want to do before you ever even fill out an application is go to the gym, get a 7-day trial, and then just scope out the environment. See the commonalities among the trainers, as there may be a certain kind of image that the gym looks to project based on the type of trainers that they hire. So you want to make sure that you, as best as possible, fit that image. Some of these gyms have super clean cut trainers. Some of these gyms have trainers that are slightly grunge. Some of these gyms prefer slightly bigger trainers. Some of these gyms prefer the athletic type. Whatever the case may be, get an idea of what the gym is looking for, and even talk to personal trainers. When I was a member over at New York Sports Club, I just wanted to get an idea of what it was like to be a trainer there, and I would often talk to the personal trainers just to see what it was like, what they look for, things like that. So if you're not going in already with some kind of understanding of what the culture is like, then they're gonna think that you don't really understand the fitness environment. The next thing I'm going to want to know is your confidence in your own ability to sell. One of the questions that was asked of me by the interviewer at Equinox is, if we were going to give you, if you had 10 clients, how many of those 10 clients do you think you should be able to get on your own versus the sales staff feeding to you? And my answer was, I don't know, 80 to 90%. And that's essentially what gyms want. If you want to play it on the safe side, you should be saying, I expect to get all of my own clients, because that shows experience more than anything else. That shows that you're willing to walk the floor, that you're willing to talk to people. And this is something that is necessary, especially when you first start off, because gyms are not going to give you clients until they understand that you can keep them. They're not going to throw away money. So essentially, if somebody walks through the door, signs up for personal training, the gym is going to hand that client off to an experienced personal training that they know will continue to resell that client. All right, so you have to do some proving up front. And if you show that you're unwilling or nervous about the prospect of selling, gyms really don't care in the beginning if you know how to train, because just about anybody knows how to train, but the ability to sell is their end goal. Your goal as a trainer and your integrity will want you to help your clients get into as best shape as possible. But you have to remember, the gyms see you as a profit center. So if you can't generate profit, they're not going to want to hire you. The last thing that you may possibly encounter in the interview process will be a training session. You want to have some kind of creed, some kind of understanding, some kind of story of fitness. Like one thing that I remember really sold the hiring manager when I was applying over at a gym in New Jersey was my story of how I was unrecruited out of high school to play football, probably didn't even qualify for a Division III school, and then for my freshman year in college, taught myself fitness, worked hard, developed myself into a Division I athlete, walked onto the team, and I've been in love with fitness ever since. That's my story. You have to have your own story about why you love fitness, what about fitness captivates you, what keeps you going, and then we can talk about training. When you talk about training, this is also something that's going to sell the client, and you want to have some kind of system in place. Now, if you don't have a system in place because you just got certified, I would definitely recommend that you check out my Dumbbells to Dollars course, as it is a course dedicated toward helping trainers become better trainers and eventually work for themselves. It shows you how to market your own business and shows you how to grow your business. So I definitely recommend that if you have no understanding of how to do personal training or group training, I definitely recommend that you click on that course right there, because that course has helped thousands, literally thousands of trainers to progress in the fitness industry and see a lot of success. So those are the things that you want to definitely focus on. You want to make sure that you have your certification. You want to make sure that you look the part. You want to make sure that you claim a lot of availability. You want to show a lot of confidence. You want to give a lot of energy. You want to have a story. You have to be able to explain why you love fitness. You have to have some kind of experience, whether it's for free or for money. You definitely want to be able to train. So those are tips that you definitely want to focus on, especially if you're new and if you're young. If they see that you're hungry and they see that you're professional, they will give you a shot. You just have to make sure that you put yourself in the best position possible. So I hope you found this video helpful. It's actually been a little bit over a month since I've made a video, so I feel very rusty, but I look forward to going back to making videos every Wednesday. As always, remember, if you have any questions or comments, put them in the comment section below. That's the best way to get back to me, and I'll do my best to answer them. So I'll be back next week with a new video, as long as you remember to eat healthy, hydrate, dress safe, stress levels will get rest, don't slap anybody, love your clients, they'll love you back. I'll see y'all tomorrow or the next day, and you have a good one.